Hey, hello! Today's video is an advanced guide on how to make a character customized GUI for your game. If you could please subscribe and like, that could really help me out a lot. And let's get started with the video. So, as you can see, I have my example of a character customization GUI in front of me. I have the player's avatar. I can rotate it around. I can change his name. I can add something to him, I can remove something to him, and when I leave, you can see it gets applied to me. And it also gets applied live for anybody that's wondering. So let's get started. So you will start off by going into the workspace and creating a part called cam part. Make sure it is facing the way you want it to. For example, you can add a decal and then you can see which side is the front side, because it will always automatically go to the front side. So once you have that, you can insert a dummy. It doesn't matter if you don't have Moon Animator. You can insert one via avatar, Brick Builder, yeah. But you have a dummy and you will use the dummy for the position coordinates, which we will get to later. So inside of starter GUI, you want to insert a screen GUI, and inside you will insert a frame. For now, put the frame in the corner, any corner, but put it in a corner and make sure it's fully transparent. Once you do that, you want to add a local script inside of the screen GUI, and you can call it whatever you want, but inside of the local script, you're gonna mention the player, and you're gonna mention the button, which you click, and the closing button. So in order to mention those, you're gonna have, of course, a button. I have my button over here. I have it invisible because if you click on here, this opens up. For those who want that script, this is what I use. So if you click on the button, if you click on this button over here, this frame opens up. Inside of that frame, I have this script, and this script will mentions all the other frames that I have, all these frames, and as you this one, yeah, and it also mentions the customize frame, which we will get to later, but this is the frame where you will have the full-on GUI for your character customization inside, so you can add it if you want. And also for this one, just put it in the corner and keep it there. So in here you can see I turn the customize, when you click it, you turn the customize to visible and the other stuff to invisible. And so back to the local script, you just insert it into the screen GUI. So once you have the customize button mentioned, we're gonna do, you can ignore the other stuff, we will get to that later. But once you have the customize button mentioned, you're gonna do button.mouse button one click connect function. You're gonna make sure player.character.archivable equals true, so you can clone the avatar of the player. And then we're gonna mention a local body, which will be the clone of the player's character. We're gonna insert it into workspace. Make sure it is workspace and not game.workspace. So this stays only on the client side and not on the server side. We're gonna call the dummy, or the body, we're gonna call it player dummy. So we can mention it in other scripts because it's the same name. We're gonna anchor the humanoid root part so it cannot fall over. We're gonna disable its name, and we're gonna make the primary part the humanoid root part. And now we're gonna work with the location where you want the body to spawn. So there comes the dummy you just added in the beginning in place. So I have my dummy on this part, on this wait, where do I have it? Let me just see. Yeah, okay, so I placed my dummy over here. So wherever you place it, make sure it is facing, the camera is facing the dummy, so it is visible. Copy the position over here, and then you do a local new C-frame, C-frame.angles, blah, 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 and then plus vector, and put in the coordinates of the dummy over here. And then do body.humanoid.root_parts.cframe.new C-frame, so it gets, so the body you just copied of the player gets sent to that exact location. And now we will go to the camera part. So we mentioned the cam, which is the cam 1, which is the current camera. That's the camera of the player. And then the cam part. I called it cam 1 and cam 2. And so cam1.camera type equals scriptable. When you have it on scriptable, that means that you can customize how it behaves. And then we set the cam 1 to cam 2 to their C-frame, so you look from the viewpoint of the part. We're gonna skip over this for now and skip over the closing button for now. We're gonna get to that later. So once you finished writing that, you want to add a frame, call it customize frame if you haven't already. And let me just turn it visible. So this is what I have. I will turn the other stuff invisible because yeah, it's not supposed to be visible. So in here we're going to start with the close button, so you can open and close it without an issue. So I have my close 1. You don't have to do a close 1 and close 0. I just have it because I want to have this kind of design. But inside of that frame, you don't have to make it a frame also. You can just insert the button, but I did a frame. Inside of the frame, I have this text button, which is the closing button. And you click on it, you see the customized frame gets mentioned, and it gets turned to invisible, and the other stuff gets turned to visible, and it destroys the player dummy, which is the player's avatar that just was cloned in the script. So it cleans up the area. And once you have inserted the close button and you have inserted this script inside of it and added this, we're going to go back to the custom ls script you just inserted into the screen GUI, and we're going to mention the close button over here. And make sure it also says game.players.localplayer.player GUI, so you get it correctly. And so we're going to mention when you click the close button, the body gets destroyed, just in case. We're going to add multiple times that the body gets destroyed. It doesn't matter if you get an error. It is fine. It doesn't impact the game. This is just to prevent any bugs from appearing. And we're going to restore the camera type to custom, which sets the camera back to the player. And then we will get to the rotate stuff later. So back to the customized frame. Inside of the customized frame, you're gonna insert we can start with the rotate stuff. You're gonna add buttons that can rotate. You're gonna call it rotate left and rotate right. And back to the custom ls script, you're gonna mention those two. And when you click, they get the body, and then they add rotational value onto the body. So if you click for example rotate left, it will go minus 30 degrees, and if you click rotate right, it will go plus 30 degrees. So you can click on them, it will rotate that body that you have. We will also insert a rotate script itself into the screen GUI. This is also to make sure no bugs happen, because if you don't have this, you will have issues with rotating. Inside of there, we're going to mention the player again and the to rotate stuff, and all you have to do is just mention the local body and copy basically the same over here. Make sure the angles are correct, and then you have basically done the rotate parts. Now we can start with the accessory remover part. So let me find it real. Yeah, here. So I have a scrolling frame. Make sure this is a scrolling frame. Inside the scrolling frame, I have a frame, but let me show you the frame. Yeah. So I have this frame over here. Inside of the frame, I have a text button and a text label. The text button is going to be the deletion button. You click on it and it deletes the accessory, and the text label is going to be where the name of the accessory appears, so you know what accessory you are going to delete. I have this on invisible because this one doesn't matter, but you want to copy or duplicate this one and go to replicated storage, and I have a folder for my GUI stuff, and I just inserted it in here so we can duplicate it from here over and over for the script that we are going to mention now. So you want to add another local script instead of the UI you added. And inside of here, we're going to mention the accessories. So you want to get started, again, mention the player, and then we mention the UI, which is this scrolling frame. We mentioned that over here. Let me just close all this, yeah. So we mentioned it over here, and then we mentioned the customize button, which is the button that you press to open up this frame. It should be the same as the one you have mentioned over here. You see, frame 3 customize, frame 3 customize. Then we're gonna mention the close one, which is the same close button that's here, and the rotate buttons again. But let's first explain how this works. So once you click the customize button to open up the GUI, it will get the every piece of children, which is an accessory of the player, and then it will clone the frame we inserted into replicated storage. It will get inserted into the UI, and then the name of the frame will be the name of the accessory, and the text label will also be the name of the accessory. And then we're gonna mention the frame.text button, which is, if you remember correctly, that's this one. So once you press the text button, the body, that the player dummy, which is in the workspace, it gets destroyed, and then you destroy the frame, and the accessory gets destroyed. So what it does is it destroys the accessory because you just clicked on the delete button, and it destroys the frame because you don't have the accessory equipped. But it also destroys the body to refresh it for any issues, and then it clones the body back into its place, and then does the same stuff over. It anchors it, it renames it, make sure it's always called player dummy, and then it does the same with the location. And you can just copy the rotate stuff and insert it in here. And the close button, we have the close button, so if you click on the close button, it also destroys the new body that was made inside this script. Make sure you add the rotate and the close stuff, otherwise you will get bugs. So now that we have finished the accessories thingy, we can start with the accessory add-on UI elements. So I have this scrolling frame, and for anybody that inserted a scrolling frame and scaled it and realized where the scroll bar went to, make sure you go in properties of the scrolling frame and scroll a bit down until you see, let me find it, yeah, until you see canvas size, and increase it. I have it set on 15, and that usually solves the issue, but if it doesn't appear back, keep increasing this size until it appears. And so inside this scrolling frame, we will add a frame. I call it rusty gas mask because that is the accessory that I have that I want to insert into the player. So that again, text label has the name of it, and the text button will add it. So we have the add script, and what it does is it gets the accessory. So if you have your accessory, you will have an accessories folder in replicated storage, and you can insert it in there. And so it will grab the accessory. So you click on replicated storage, and in this case, in this script, it grabs the add accessory remote event, which you should also add into replicated storage. And then it checks if the head name is Rusty Gas Mask. Make sure that if you change this, if you insert another frame of this like this and have it called something else, make sure this script is also changed to the name of the accessory. To prevent any issues, make sure everything have called Rusty Gas Mask to make sure there's no confusion. So once it is fired, it will proceed this line and make sure again the name of the UI of the accessory is called here, and then it gets cloned. And inside of the text button we will also have new scripts. So you have this local script which fires the remote event. So once you click on the button, it will fire the add accessory remote event, and it will send the text Rusty Gas Mask, so you know it's for the Rusty Gas Mask. And we have then this deletion script. Let me see. Okay, well, we will get back to that one. I think it's meant, yeah. So okay, so in the other scripts we have new and refresh. So when you in the new one, we mention, oh, sorry, my throat got a bit dry from all the talking. But inside you mention the player and the button, which is just this text button. Instead of that, once it gets clicked, you look for the player dummy. It gets destroyed. I wait 0.1 second, clone it again, make sure blah blah blah. Just copy it from the other scripts. It's the same stuff. And then we have this refresh script, which will work on this. So in this script, once you click it, it deletes all the frames that are inside of the inside of this one, inside of the accessory UI. It deletes all the frames inside of there, so all the UI elements you added will remain. And then in the refresh script, what we do is we copy the same stuff that we had in this place and add it back here. It gets the children, it searches for the accessory. I have a print number. I added that over here so I can check in the output to make sure this works, and I just copy the same stuff from the other scripts. So if you're wondering why I have so many of these scripts that do the same stuff but in different locations, it is to prevent bugs. If you don't have this and you do one of the actions, the other stuff won't work. So this is to prevent bugs. And that's what you do in each. So if you have a different thing, you can copy it, but make sure that all the scripts get adjusted by name, and make sure you add your accessory in here. And so that's how you add the accessory thingy. And in order to make sure you can scroll between the items, I have this. I have the head/torso one, so you can scroll between these ones. So if the head is visible, then when you click it, the torso goes visible, and the other way around, like this. And for the limbs, because you have two buttons, it will be a bit more confusing if you don't understand it. So I mention all these UIs, and these UIs are over here. So you can see I have the head UI. That's where I have the Rusty Gas Mask, but I also have the torso UI, which is for all the torso accessories. And then I have right leg UI, right arm, left leg, all that stuff for the other body parts. And so you want to mention all of them over here, and then we mention the buttons over here. Same in the head and torso script, you mention the button, but here we have two buttons, so I call them follow and back. Follow for forward and back for back. So once you press the follow button, it will look, and you see right arm is visible, so left arm will go visible. Left arm is visible, right leg will go visible, right leg is visible, left leg goes visible, and other way around. And then for the back one, you do exactly this, but in reverse. So you can see right arm is visible, then left leg goes visible, which, because left leg is the last item. So the same, but in reverse. And then you have the switch stuff. If you have a head accessory and you want to do it for an arm, you just copy the same stuff, but put it in the arm UI. It works, just copy the same stuff. For the name tutorial, for the name part, I mean, I have a video already made if you want to watch that separately, but if you don't, let me explain it quickly. You add a name part, which is welded to the head of the player, which has a billboard UI. You can see it's welded to the player over here. Inside of the billboard UI, I have text, which is supposed to be of the player. And let me click on this. Yeah. And inside here, I have the text box. You can click on the enter, and over here also, you can click on the fire and this local script, which deletes, yeah, okay, so this local script is basically the same. It deletes the body, it adds a new body on the same stuff, just copy paste. And I have the name join, so once you join, your player name gets put up, and the name change, which fires when you want to change your name. So if you want to know a more in-depth on how to do this, I already have a video made. I will leave it in the top of the description. You watch that one to if you want to know how you make the name one. And so if you want to, yeah, now we continue further with the custom ID section. So I have it over here. So I have this fire script, which grabs the text box, text button, the event put on clothes. I call it that because you can add clothing via it and other stuff. You can also add accessories, don't worry. It works on any ID. So you have it over here, and then it text button and mouse click fires the remote event. And then you go to server script service, where I have a normal script, which looks for this. So when the put on clothes event gets fired, it inserts the ID that you just added, and it adds the model into the workspace of the player. And yeah, if it is an accessory, it gets added to the UMOD as an accessory. If it's a shirt, it gets added to shirt, and pants added to pants. Simple as that. And over here, so inside the text box, you don't have to do anything, but inside of the text button, we're going to do the same stuff we did before. We have the delete script, which deletes the frames. You have this new script and the refresh script. You can again just copy paste from the from this one, and that's like basically it. If you want to do shirts, you do the same as what you do over here. That's just it. So if you look again, I can make this invisible and turn these two back to visible. You can see I click on it, this pops up. Oh yeah, wait, let me remove this one. So yeah, you click on this, dummy gets set. I can change stuff, add stuff, remove stuff. Simple as that. That's basically it. And for those wondering what this is, that is my time. I have this day-night cycle, and I have just the time over here. It grabs what time it is. And if you wanted, this is the day-night cycle. Yeah. So that was the tutorial for customization UI. If you found this useful, it would really be appreciated if you would subscribe and like, if you even made it this far to begin with. If you have any issues or questions, join the Discord. It is way easier for me to help you in the Discord than if you send a comment. So join the Discord, ask for me or for someone else, and we will help you with any issues you have, not only related to this video, but any other general issues or advice. And that's basically it. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and have a good day or night. Bye bye.